Hello everybody, welcome to another GwentCast. My name is Hey I'm a Wolf, and I'll be your host today. If you have a game that you'd like to see cast on this channel, you can go ahead and submit that over to heyimawolfgwent@gmail.com. I'm still desperately looking for some low MMR games, so if you are brave enough to share that with us, that would be greatly appreciated. If you're unsure how to record your game, I'll have a link in the description of a video I just made that'll show you a very easy way to record and submit your games. So Fusion, the submitter of this video, thank you Fusion, will be on a consume build, and this is all in consume. It's going to rely very heavily on Neckers and Necker Warriors to get enough tempo to get the game rolling. So in order to take over the game, the idea is to play a Necker, copy him with Necker Warriors so that you have as many as 5, 7, or 9 Neckers available to you, and consume them for extra power via Unseen Elder or Vran Warrior. So this is going to be a very interesting matchup because it's very non-interactive. Both decks are going to pretty much be able to do what they want to do outside of Radovid. Radovid will be the only control element that you'll see in this matchup at all. Redanian Knight coming down for the armor player into a Thaler, giving Fusion a 12-point lead. The score will be 25-13. Redanian Knight will likely get a lot of value as this round appears like it will go very long. And so, in response to this Thaler, I really like playing this Necker Warrior. I like developing the board because one of the problems that the Consume deck has is finding opportunities to play its low-tempo engine cards to develop its plan. So the Thaler is a great opportunity to do that. Another Redanian Knight coming down for the armor player via a Reaver Scout. We'll see what Fusion wants to respond with. I like, still, with having this much of a lead, getting the Arrakis Behemoth online and getting ready to play the Consume game. What I don't like about the Sekimara, and I don't mind it, it is a low-tempo play, which is what I was looking for, but what I don't like about the Sekimara is I would have liked Arrakis Behemoth to come down first. Now, I understand that this was a play around Radovid, but I think I would have been okay with getting my Arrakis Behemoth down and having that locked instead of Ekimara. So we'll see what the armor player wants to respond with here. Control coming down from the armor player. Now, the thing that I would have loved to see here already would have been a development of this Woodland Spirit, maybe over the Arrakis Behemoth, because that does a couple things here. That would have been able to take the armor away from the Redanian Knight in the range throw. And also it would have thinned the deck of a few Harpies, which I'm a huge fan of right now, because the Wolves do trigger the Harpy countdown timer. But we'll see an Alzur's Thunder come down to destroy the Behemoth, giving the armor player 1-point lead. I think I'd like to see a Crones here. Yeah, we'll see Crones here for a cool 20 points. And unfortunately, it looks like this Heavy Cavalry will take the lead just by 2 points, which is really unfortunate because the Consume player doesn't really have anything to respond with, so the players are going to end on even. The Monsters player, unfortunately, will have to lose a card very likely in this second round, meaning that going into the third round, not only will the Consume player be down a card, they will also be having to play first. And unfortunately, a brutal play here. The Roach coming off of the Mulligan of the Harpy. There were so many other cards that could have been drawn. A little unlucky from the Monsters player. But we'll see a ghoul come down and consume something useless to take round 2 after the dry pass from the armor player, bringing the total match score to 1-1. So it's going to come down to this round 3. 6 cards versus 7 cards. The armor player will have 7 cards and will be playing second. We'll see what Fusion wants to develop here. I would not lead with Arrakis Behemoth for the sole reason that it can get blocked. And there's nothing to consume at the moment anyway. Obviously you have Ghoul and Carrion, but I would have liked to see Kaleno Harpy first because that has the least chance of being interacted with. The other reason is it would have given us 1 extra card to see if Kayran wanted to consume something else. So now this Kaleno Harpy, we didn't take advantage of it at all because it's only 7 points. So the best thing that Kaleno Harpy could have done was to give us an extra turn of development to see what the armor player was going to play. Now granted, Verdania Knight is a great consume for Kayran, so this is going to work out for Fusion. Roach coming down finally. Now the next one I would really like to see is probably this Woodland Spirit, and unfortunately the armor player is playing the reinforcements, which will cause probably the consume player to lose this game. That was huge. The consume player was up 39-6, and those reinforcements came down and really just closed the gap, leaving only an 11-point gap, having only 2 cards in hand for the consume player versus 4 from the armor player. 46-28 in favor of the consume player, but I feel like those reinforcements are going to change the face of this game. I would have liked to see Woodland Spirit come down a lot earlier, I think. A little bit more value off of the Woodland Spirit would have been perfect. It would have developed the Harpies. The Harpies wouldn't be hitting things with armor. We would have had extra ticks, especially after they committed something else to the front row that Redanian Knight. So a heavy cavalry coming down will eat 5 armor for 13 points. Woodland Spirit finally coming down and will only get 2 ticks. Now I understand that you want to maximize the number of ticks that come down off your fog, trying to wait for something, but you'll see here that you're going to lose out on those ticks anyway because the round is almost over.
I feel honored.
Kira for an epidemic, which will net points technically for the consume player. If that Harpy had actually hit something without armor, it would have been even, but the amount of power on the board did not change, so I don't think I like that. I think I would have liked to just see a Thunderbolt potion. This Unseen Elder will only provide a swing of 11 for tempo, because none of the engine cards are on the field outside of this Arrakis Beam. This is the part where we really want to see Necker, and unfortunately it getting locked by Radovid is a huge issue. And a Commander Sworn, see this, if these reinforcements didn't come out, that Commander Sworn would not have been lined up.
For the king!
And unfortunately, this heavy cavalry will be just enough to take down this match. That's very unfortunate for our hero Fusion. Thank you, Fusion, for submitting this video. I don't get very many game losses submitted by players, so I definitely like to see that you were brave enough to share that with the world. Again, if you have a game that you'd like to share, I'll have a video in the description showing you how you can do that. It's super easy. Thank you, everybody, for watching. This is Hammerwolf, signing off.